Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. I'm your Cosmic Auntie, and this is going to be a tarot reading that is exploring what the inner child would like to say. And immediately as I was preparing for this reading, I received the image of like red and white, like swirls and stripes are kind of going down. And yeah, it gave me like candy cane vibes, and I'm recording this at the beginning of holiday season. So this is a nostalgic time, and that can bring up many things, many things. And the reason why I got inspired to kind of lean into this energy is that I got hit with a bout of nostalgia on Instagram earlier. I posted it to my story today, and it was like a reel of like point of view of the last day before, you know, Christmas break in the early 2000s, and it was just like flashes of things that were very much a part of my childhood in school. And yeah, and then I was just like walking my dog and got hit with that flash of the swirls, and I can kind of differentiate between like my own nostalgia and then something like a flash of insight, or anything like, you know, the universe is kind of, I don't know, hinting at, I guess. I have a hard time like kind of understanding how to describe, like, I don't know where I get these visuals, but it's just like these visuals that provide a rich, energetic sensation, and I got inspired to do this video. So I hope that it comes alongside you in some way and assists you in some way. You know, this is a tender and profound topic and exploration, right? To explore the teachings of the inner child. So I encourage you to go through this video or listen to this video with compassion to the self. And if I never know how these are going to go, but when we talk about inner child, especially when it comes to the nostalgia of the holidays, there could be lots that comes up. So please pause, or, you know, take care of yourself. Do what's best for you, okay? This is also a very joyful topic. The inner child is our like pure creativity and wonder and curiosity and, you know, potential, imagination, our innocence. So let's jump in and see what's going on. So the tarot decks that I'm going to be using, well, I'm going to use one tarot deck, one oracle today. The Star Tarot. It's, sorry if that was loud, super beautiful deck. I've been using it lately in my videos. Once I start using this deck and it kind of reaches out to me, I use it for quite a long time. And then I'm going to be using the African Goddess Rising Oracle at the end. So what does the inner child want to say? What does the inner child want to say? I also would like to just mention that it's so important, as you pay attention to these messages, that you tune into your own inner guidance, your own intuition. You know yourself best. You'll know when a message resonates, and you'll know when it doesn't. So please don't make anything fit. Okay, this is a space where I very much want to equalize any kind of power dynamic. I want to be a resource to you and encourage, you know, an encourager, I guess is what I wanted to say. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually a word, but I'm using it. That's very inner childy, you know, like making your own language and running with it. Okay, what does the inner child want to say? Two of Swords. And the Ace of Swords. Ten of Cups. Then we've got Justice, Judgment, and the Seven of Cups. I will show them to you. Justice, Judgment, and the Seven of Cups. There is a profound sense of truth. There is such a massive awareness here. So for the people that are, for you who have been drawn to this video, I get the sense that there has been a lot of exploration and interaction with the inner child. The inner child is saying here at the Two of Swords and Justice, these two cards of balance, that there's been an equalization, there's been a balance and a harmony, and something has been like uncrossed. There's the inner child is saying that there's been something uncrossed and harmonized and balanced. These two cards here. And so like this is very much like external and internal energy as well, like really kind of exploring your duality, your dimensions. And with the Ace of Swords coming out too, after the Two of Swords, there's been breakthroughs. And I sense the inner child is saying like, thanks for the room to share my ideas. And as I said before, in the beginning of the reading, you know, the inner child is where, you know, our imagination. When you're a kid, you're this imagination, the access to it, the flow of it, the way that, you know, as when we're kids and, you know, when we observe kids, they can get just immediately lost in the flow of their imagination, and really, you know, being open to seeing where it guides them, being open to the potential, not necessarily putting any kind of heavy it just is open to the, just the magic of the imagination, how anything is possible when you use your imagination. And I'm getting that from the Seven of Cups here and the Ten of Cups. And honestly, it looks like this more like, to me on the board, where there's the dove and the hand is open to this, you know, to the potentials, to the imagination. This card rules the imagination. This card, you know, is a head in the clouds kind of energy, and if they're even reaching up, kind of, they're releasing a bird too. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that. So it's like there's this notion of freeing the imagination, my friends. The inner child, there's again, it keeps coming back to this. Thank you for the room to share my ideas. There's been this where I'm getting the kind of feeling here that, you know, those of you who are here have done really deep dives into the inner child. There's been a lot of inner child healing, and that's become a practice. That's what I sense. That's the awareness I sense at the beginning, an awareness of like just the inner child and the cultivation of the relationship with the imagination, the creativity, the innocence, right? This is an innocent, wondrous part of ourselves when we go back to those places, you know, when we were kids, and we, you know, it's like when, as we get older and we get to a certain point, is we learn how to come back home to the inner child, and through inner child healing, it's really deep, it's really profound, it's really intense at times to uncross and uncover, and to, you know, kind of explore the dynamics of the places that the inner child kind of leads you to when it comes to healing. And so, because it also unlocks doors as you do it, and that's where I feel like there's you know, I just saw a bunch of doors blow open, and that's where I sense the inner child is feeling so much more room to express the ideas that come through the inner child, like, and the zaniness, the weirdness, the quirkiness of you. Like, this is, you know, the inner child really is like part of our authenticity, our true authenticity, our deep authenticity. So yeah, and so wow. And with the judgment energy, it's where I'm getting that practice, right? The judgment energy is awakenings, it's transformation. Underneath the Ace of Swords, there's just this notion of deep healing and transformation, and yeah, connection as well. I just heard the word cycles as well. So there's this like awareness about cycles. I just remembered Virgo's reading for November, and it was called The Timing of Things, and it was all about reflecting on just like the timing of things thus far in life, and kind of just witnessing the cycles within cycles, the synchronicities, the pivots, and all the timing of things. And there's like, I just saw puzzle pieces fitting together. There's clarity in regards to that, and there's like, yeah, pieces fitting together. You know, you've really integrated the inner child into the flow of things, and there's a lot of joy that I feel with that. There's a lot of joy when I feel with that, with the Ten of Cups. You know, most are likely, you know, some of you have families of your own. We all have family. We all have family. When we're really kind of looking at like the kids, you might have kids yourself, be in a family, or have kids around you. Really what I'm trying to say is like there's this notion of kind of observing kids and feeling inspired by them, and that I sense has been really helpful with exploring the workings of your own inner child and ultimately your own authenticity and imagination. And you know, like by interacting with kids and kind of observing them and listening to them, like I sense that a helpful part, well, there's so many helpful parts, but there's just like, there's some really good ideas like just are spitfired from kids. And it's like, okay, I sense that that has been a major inspiration to exploring your own imagination and kind of unlocking, you know, all of these are like fizzing in like the coolest way, unlocking, you know, elements of your own imagination, unlocking your own imagination, just period. And when we're talking about the holiday season, like, sorry, I just squeaked my shoe. When we're talking about the holiday season, like this is a time that can be full of wonder and creativity. It can also, right, like I said, it can be a very challenging time as well. And wherever you fall in that, I think that all of us can kind of explore our duality with that. But it is a challenging time, and with these Two of Swords, it's like, yeah, it just is kind of bringing me to like a little like gateways to certain aspects of the inner child, maybe memories or past experiences that are being kind of opened and rebalanced. Again, the inner child is really showing me that there's such harmony. And so I feel like, and with all these doves and stuff, like there's such a sense of peace. And what I'm trying to say is like, I sense that you've brought a lot of clarity to those places for yourself, and discovered a lot of clarity, and received a lot of clarity through exploring all the facets of your dynamics, the, you know, the challenging times as well as the joyful times, and like really kind of finding your alchemy with that, with the justice, and finding an inner balance with that. And yeah, and the result, again, what the inner child is saying is, thank you for the room to express my ideas. And again, with these doves, and like this white bird, like this eagle, this phoenix, rather, like with the Judgment card up here, and releasing that bird, reaching for that bird, that dove, there's a sense of peace. Your inner child is feeling a lot of peace. And that is really beautiful, because I sense that there's an element of showing up. Well, there is, yeah, showing up, sorry. Showing up for yourself in such a loving way, like really providing emotional stability for your inner child. And that kind of links me to observing children in your life as well. And if you don't have any children in your life, it's this emotional stability within the self, and emotional stability you find in the healthy dynamics that you feel at home within your environment, no matter who they are, and or nature itself, just the connection to life and nature. And yeah, so there's just this sense of responding and learning how to respond with how you'd respond to children in your environment, or how you'd respond to loved ones in your environment. And that's resulted in the inner child saying that there's a lot of peace and harmony. I sense that those of you who are here, you've really fallen in love with your inner child. And you're falling in love with your inner child. And that has assisted in showing up in life in an authentic way that feels very true to you. And it assists in cultivating an environment that celebrates and values you and you them. I heard if you can dream it, you can do it. And that is very much an inner child energy, an inner child gift. And again, if you are finding yourself really, the inner child is very much, like, I feel like the inner child is very much present because of the relationship building and the healing and the exploration of those aspects of yourself. But I also sense that this could, holiday season really kind of bring up more, or the triggers and all of the things that and the skills that you've learned and integrated when it comes to responding to your inner child to be very important for the kinds of memories that are coming up, the kinds of triggers that may come up for you, because the holidays can be very, very hard, but also very beautiful. And really, truly, it is all about connection. And yeah, I just say that because I sense that there just might be extra care and concern and compassion that the inner child may need. There might be, with the Two of Swords, moments where there would be like a blockage or a halt, and or again, like a trigger. And all these cards here, the Judgment, Ace of Swords, 10 of Cups, 7 of Cups, shows me that there's very real, beautiful ways to respond to those triggers. And again, that connects with the harmony and the peace the inner child is feeling. Like there's room to feel, there's room to share, the insights and the ideas. So that is the real true message of this reading, is the inner child wants to say, thank you for the room to share my ideas, share my insights, to have the room to express, like to have that trigger, right? Like that is something that happens throughout life. And the way we respond is deeper and more clear, like every time we have to do it, because we learn every time, and it might take different forms or have different kind of catalysts. But even so, I'm coming back to this room, all the doors open. I just saw all the doors opening again, and it's just coming back to that main message. So I'll do some oracle now of thank you for the room to share my ideas. Thank you for the room to feel and express, and the way that you're responding to those parts of yourself like a loving caregiver is really beautiful. And the safety that you're creating for your inner child is assisting in the vibrant imagination and the amazing ideas that I sense are flowing through you. All right, goddesses, queens, ancestors, what does the inner child want to say? Medusa, rage. Okay. So that's like, that's been something just on the outskirts of the energy. Medusa is all about sacred rage, you know, and honestly, like, very warranted and valid rage. So this is such a profound way that I sense you're showing up for the inner child, giving them room to rage, to feel that rage, to feel the feelings, to unlock something, unlocking here and rebalancing by allowing the space to feel, you know, especially when it ties back to moments that our inner child experienced, moments that we experienced when we were younger, moments we experienced in our past chapters, and the way that they can be triggered in the moment that we're experiencing. And yeah, and there's just such profound healing that comes through allowing space to feel rage, and coming back to this way of learning how to respond and create a safety, emotional safety. And I sense that this emotional safety is in regards to, yes, unlocking the imagination, but on the outskirts there was just this tight feeling. And so I also sense that when the emotional safety is created to safely express rage, because it, you know, it's a very volatile emotion, but it can be very, very helpful when used and explored in a safe way, which means really bringing, you know, heavy awareness to that emotion, to be like, I am feeling rage, and to just have that awareness there. So that is a helpful way to really kind of safely identify rage, and then start, you know, exploring it and expressing it. And with the Ace of Swords, again, with the Judgment, there's just massive transformation here. And Seven of Cups, there's ways that I sense that even the inner child is assisting in using the imagination to respond to feelings of rage. Because again, right, this is valid. Anger, rage is a secondary emotion. So there is a catalyst, there's something there that happened. And yeah, so, or there's just, we all feel it in some way, right? We like, and again, right, when it comes to the inner child, it is a secondary emotion. So there's a lot to explore there. And I sense that you have been doing this. You've been very much doing this. And I think, like, I guess with the candy cane at the beginning, it's like the holiday season can be polarizing and can bring up a lot. And so really tap into those skills unlocked when giving, you know, yourself room to express and experience and feel what you are wanting to, what you're feeling, just what you're feeling, and to tap into that creative imagination and the potential, and yeah, and allowing all the dynamics of you to exist. But yeah, keeps coming back to that message. The inner child wants to say thank you for the room. And then we've got Marie Laveau. Good juju. We've got good juju. sorry, there's just so much to see in these cards. Marie Laveau talks about like our power, our divine birthright. Those of you who are here, probably deeply spiritual and intuitive and psychic, and the inner child is just so helpful with energy work and manifestation and dreaming up the impossible, making it possible. And yeah, I just get this sense that through Marie Laveau, there's just such a sense of energetic support and connection and gifts, you know, gifts, like literally spiritual gifts, and claiming those spiritual gifts. And that can be such a beautiful it's just a beautiful I don't know what the word I'm thinking of. A beautiful result of inner child healing. Claiming our gifts. Learning how to bring them up to the surface and share them in ways that, you know, feel comfortable and purposeful. Because yeah, the energy, when we're children, and children are very sensitive and they're very perceptive, and through exploring the rage, you know, the rage can be covering the gift, covering that gem of the soul. And those things got covered in a certain moment in time that was experienced at a younger age. And as that, I'll show you these cards. As that rage was given space and safety to express itself and continues to do so, the fire gets put out and the gift and the gem is revealed. And so with this Ace of Swords, it's like bringing this clarity and receiving this clarity through that process of your gifts, your joy, your magic, your magic. And the inner child has been a major gateway to uncovering and making more space for that magic. And it has come through a process of healing. And that is where, like, I sense this Two of Swords. It's like, I just keep wanting to kind of like, and it's exploring the duality, the, you know, the external experience and the internal sensation, and finding and rebalancing and finding harmony, transforming. Again, to finish this, my friends, your inner child wants to say thank you for the room. Thank you for the seat at the table. All right. Well, I hope this was helpful in some way. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. But yeah, take no shit, do no harm. I love you. I'll see you later.